Are you an OP01 veteran who remembers the terror of Red Zoro? Do you long for your long-lost glory days and want to play Zoro but with yellow cards? Well, then fear not. Kalgara from OP08's Two Legends is the deck for you, and if you want to learn everything about him, here's everything you need to know. Kalgara is a 5k power, 5 life yellow leader that has a Dawn ×1 when attacking effect that reads, play up to one character card from your hand with a cost equal to or lower than the number of Dawn on your field. If you played a card, add the top card of your life to your hand. A 5 life yellow leader? Been a while since we've seen one of those, right? Our goal with this leader is to attack, then play something from hand that matches our Dawn curve for free. Then replace that card in hand with a card from life. Do note that we get to play a character with a cost equal to or less than our current Dawn on field, not unrested Dawn. Meaning we are able to flood the board by attacking, playing a Shandian character, then using our remaining Dawn to play more characters or power up our attackers. All for the measly cost of 1 life. And we're not even trashing it, it goes straight to our hand. Here's some attack math to look at, without listing some specific Shandian character cards. Again, we just want to focus on our lines of play and possibilities. If we're going first, turn 2, we use 1 Dawn to attach, swing, and we can play a Shandian character with a cost up to 3 or less. Then, using the untapped 2 Dawn to play a character. Turn 3, we can use a Dawn to attach, swing, then play up to a 5 cost Shandian character, then have 4 Dawn remaining. Turn 4, we can swing for 6, play up to a 7 Dawn Shandian character, then have 6 Dawn remaining. Turn 5, we can swing for 6, play up to a 9 Dawn Shandian character, then have 8 Dawn remaining. Finally, at turn 6, we can swing for 6 and play a Shandian up to 10 and have 9 remaining. If we're going second, turn 2, we can swing for 6 and play up to a 4 Dawn Shandian with 3 Dawn remaining. Turn 3, swing 6 and play up to a 6 Dawn Shandian with 5 Dawn remaining. Turn 4, swing 6 and play up to an 8 Dawn Shandian with 7 Dawn remaining. And finally, on turn 5, swing 6 and play up to a 10 Dawn Shandian with 9 Dawn remaining. Being able to play a character for the cost of a life is amazing, but do remember that we only get to play Shandian warriors with our leader ability. And also note, we aren't normally as sturdy as other yellow leaders. Like all yellow life leaders, our life cards are a precious resource and allow us to manipulate the game in a way other decks can't. But in order to do this, we'll need to stay healthy for the majority of the game, or we won't be able to safely call characters on the board with our ability. Kalgara is an aggressive leader. We swing anywhere from 3 to 4 times in a turn for relatively low Dawn investment, while preparing unrested bodies for the next 3 to 4 swings. We also treat this deck like a toolbox, having multiple searches to dig through our deck for specific pieces. Now that we know what we're doing with our leader in our deck, let's talk about card selection. The first card we need to get out of the way is Upper Yard. Upper Yard is a 1-cost stage card from set 5 that allows us to on-play search for a card with Sky Island in its types, then send the rest back to the bottom. It's able to even search for itself. Plus, a lot of your targets chain together with Upper Yard. Some search for your copies, while others cash in the one you've played on board for even more value. Cards like Wiper, Braham, and Kamakiri. While Braham and Kamakiri fit the description of cards that play with Upper Yard, I only really find them as cool tech pieces as opposed to must-includes in this deck. Both Wipers, however, are great. Wiper from OP06 is a 5-cost 7k no counter that has an on-play. You may return a 1-cost stage to the bottom of its owner's deck. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck, reveal an Upper Yard or Shandora Warrior, then send the remaining cards to the bottom of your deck in any order. A great 5-cost 7k beat stick that searches to replace itself in hand. And notice it doesn't restrict you to bottom decking your own stage. So in the mirror, you can hit your opponent's Upper Yard or any other cost 1 stages you come across. And the new Wiper from OP08 is just as good. A 4-cost 5k power character with a 2k counter that on play looks at the top 4 cards of your deck, reveal up to 1 Upper Yard, and then add it to your hand. Then put the remaining cards on the bottom of the deck in any order and play up to 1 Upper Yard from your hand, allowing you to replace the Wiper you just played. Combine this with OP05 Shura, and we have 4 different types of searchers in the deck. Upper Yard that looks for all Sky Island cards, Wipers that look for fellow Shandians in Upper Yards, with the possibility of playing Upper Yard for free to search for more cards, and Shura, who can look at the top 5 cards and find Sky Island cards excluding himself, who also, by the way, has a trigger effect to play himself. Let me throw one more searcher at you in the way of Ohm, who can search for a Holly, then play Holly for free, and with the static effect of a +1k at 2 or less life, it really helps us clinch games. One of the best synergies in this deck, and personally as a fan of One Piece and as a player, and one of the reasons why I truly love this game, has got to be the mechanical interaction between Noland and Kalgara. Kalgara is a 6-cost 8k vanilla character with a plus 1k counter, completely unremarkable by all accounts. But in the context of this leader and what this deck is seeking to do, we can, provided we went first, attach 1 Dawn to our leader Kalgara, swing, and activate leader effect, playing out 6-cost Kalgara, taking our top life and adding it to our hand. Then, we use the remaining 5 open Dawn to play out Mont Blanc Noland, a 5-cost character with 6k power plus 1k counter that reads, on play, if your leader has a Shandian warrior type and you have a Kalgara character in play, add up to 1 card from the top of your deck to the top of your life. And although Noland isn't a sky island, so we can't find him with searchers, we can, by taking our life, keep actively digging for him. Truly one of the strongest card synergies between 2 cards in the game, while highlighting their relationship in the anime and manga, showing how well the developers thought about how do we illustrate the essence of these characters in the gameplay mechanics. Absolutely incredible. 10 out of 10. I cry every time. That being said, Noland is the only healing card in this deck, and like I mentioned earlier, this deck isn't as sturdy as other yellow decks, and you take a lot of your own life just to advance your board state, so hopefully your opponent decides to go for your board and alleviate pressure from them as opposed to going for your life. Because we're able to search out cards a lot, this is one of those decks where I think a cheeky one of tech piece is pretty okay. My favorite event cards for this deck are El Thor, 200 million volts Amaru, Blaze Slice, and the brand new The Earth Won't Lose from OP08. The Earth Won't Lose is our newest 1-cost counter event that reads, if your leader has a Shandian warrior's type, give your leader or up to one of your characters plus 3000 for this battle. Then, play up to 1 upper yard from your hand. It also has a trigger effect, draw 2 cards, then discard 1 card. So if you play this as a counter, give your leader plus 3k, then play an upper yard to search for a 2k counter, and you'd be able to get out of a 9k attack with 1 Dawn investment, while setting up some upper yard plays. Some other great option cards would be Starter Deck 13's Rush Ace and Starter Deck 20's 6-cost Charlotte Lin, who is very good into Enel and Bonnie decks. Funnily enough, I don't endorse having the regular yellow top end for this deck, as it really doesn't play into our strategy. We don't have the life gain to have a large top end flood, and investing large amounts of Dawn onto one character is better spent going wide. Again, our main strategy with this deck is to oppress the board, and maybe we can lean on Amaru to rest out any pesky blockers and go for game. A couple of decks this leader feels favored into would be Bonnie and Enel, while decks it feels not as favored into would be BY Luffy or Doflamingo and Lucci. Here are a couple of deck lists to get you started. This deck placed second in a 59-man flagship in Japan, while this deck won a 64-man flagship in Singapore. And thank you to our members who had early access to this video. I'll also be hosting a members-only gameplay stream for this deck the day this video goes public. And if you'd like access to that, or all of our other content up to 2 weeks early, consider supporting the channel by becoming a member. And if you have other ways that you'd love to build this deck, let me know in the comments below. And for other OP08 deck guides and just fun One Piece content in general, feel free to check out the channel and subscribe. And as always, thank you, and see you on the next one.